to elevate the country's agri-export sector. And on the international scene, the Baku Energy Week has continued to showcase Azerbaijan's energy diplomacy, renewables, and regional influence. Now straight to the details. Thank you again for taking the time to join us. Prime Minister Dr. Edward Ngirente has presided over the graduation ceremony of the Senior Command and Staff Course Intake 13 at the Rwanda Defense Force Command and Staff College at Nyakinama, that is in Musanze district. And Ola Gladys Wenimana with more.
Accompanied by other senior government officials, Prime Minister Dr. Edward Ngirente was first taken on a tour of the Command and Staff College, where he was briefed on the advanced training programs offered to senior officers, as well as the technology used in delivering this knowledge. He emphasized that the college serves as a strong foundation for the future of Rwanda's security institutions.
The Defense Force Command and Staff College plays a key role in shaping leaders equipped to address the complex challenges of our time. It is more than an institution. It is the foundation upon which we build the future of our defense forces. Today, the world presents emerging threats, including asymmetric conflict, misinformation, and even global health challenges. These challenges require leaders who think critically, adapt swiftly, and act quickly and with integrity.
The senior officers graduating from the 13th cohort are now qualified to command troops at the division and brigade levels. Prime Minister Dr. Edward Ngirente urged them to be guided by the expertise and values they acquired from the college and to use them to support peace and stability in their respective countries.
This milestone is not only a personal success, but a strategic investment in the security and development of our respective nations. You are entrusted with shaping policies, guiding national security strategies, and fostering regional cooperation to ensure lasting stability and development. As you step into your future responsibilities, you should remember that command or leadership is not only about authority. It is about service to your country and people. Leadership requires courage, humility, and a firm commitment to serve.
Out of the 108 senior officers who completed the course, 73 were also awarded a master's degree in security studies by the University of Rwanda. Overall, Colonel Dr. Dan Gatsinzi of the Rwanda Defense Force emerged as the best performing student. The graduates expressed that a strong cooperation between their countries will help them effectively fulfill their duties.
So it focuses on both the command part and also the staff work at those levels and also at the headquarters. But it culminates into joint operations where we actually train in case we find ourselves operating in more than one service and more than one country for the same purpose.
It has been one of the hardest military courses I've ever done. However, it is of dynamic environment, multinational perspective, and it resonates well with the head of state statement, which says Africans cannot outsource their security. It also aligns well with the guest of honor speech. Rwanda is the best country I've ever been. Because of the hospitality, I felt at home. I'm quite going to be the best ambassador since I'm now a strategic future asset in my country.
The 108 senior officers who spent a year studying at the Command and Staff College included 78 from the Rwanda Defense Force, 2 from the Rwanda National Police, 2 from the Rwanda Correctional Service, and 26 international officers from 19 allied armed forces, including Jordan in the Middle East.
Now, the Committee on Social Affairs and Human Rights in the Senate has called on the Ministry of Local Government to make the welfare of people living on islands a priority in order to ensure that they enjoy better living conditions. Adam Squizera with more.
Residents living on various islands in Rwanda say they still face challenges related to the lack of essential infrastructure such as health centers, electricity, roads, and motorboats. This concern was particularly echoed by residents in Gihai Island, located in Gihundwe sector, Rusizi district. The Senate committee emphasized that after visiting several islands, they witnessed firsthand the ongoing challenges related to access of basic services including education, healthcare, infrastructure, and transport. The committee chairperson, Honorable Umuhire Adrien, stressed the need for the Ministry of Local Government to establish robust strategies to significantly improve the living conditions of island residents.
We were already aware of much of what you observed on the ground, and we took note of the feedback you shared with us. It will be valuable in guiding our efforts. While we will continue to collaborate with all relevant institutions, we recognize that this is our primary responsibility. We are committed to improving the well-being of all citizens, whether they live on the mainland or on islands, and to ensuring that no one is left behind due to distance. We will also make sure that all efforts are aligned with established regulations.
Minister of State in the Ministry of Local Government, Kaisire Marie Solange, noted that there are existing plans aimed at enhancing the welfare of island dwellers.
The Ministry of Local Government, which is also responsible for the well-being of communities, needs to present its plans for these vulnerable populations.
Rwanda has about 60 islands, 14 of which are inhabited by approximately 4,600 households. Among those, the Ministry considers only 3 islands as viable for continued settlement, with plans to extend infrastructure and services to those specific communities.
Now, Rwanda's recent decision to withdraw from the Economic Community of Central African States, or ECAS, has stirred debate, but political and economic analysts argue that the country will suffer no significant negative consequences. Many point out that the move reflects a rational recalibration of Rwanda's regional economic diplomacy, especially given ECAS's long-standing issues with ineffective governance. The withdrawal, made official on the 7th of this month of June, was endorsed by Rwanda's cabinet 2 days later. In a statement, the government cited the organization's instrumentalization of some member states, especially the Democratic Republic of Congo, to serve narrow political ends and undermine Rwanda's interests. The cabinet emphasized that it was illogical and unacceptable for a multilateral platform to be misused to marginalize one of its own members. One key trigger for Rwanda's decision was ECAS's refusal to allow the country to assume the presidency of the organization, despite it being Rwanda's legal turn, according to ECAS's own charter. Instead, the bloc yielded to baseless accusations from the DRC, which continues to claim that Rwanda has violated its sovereignty. A former U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, Thibault Nash, posted on X calling Rwanda's exit a loss for ECAS, highlighting the country's strong track record of governance and development. His comments reflect broader international concern over the bloc's internal dysfunction and vulnerability to manipulation. Now, Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Ambassador Olivier Nduhungirehe, has gone on record to state that the country had long tolerated ECAS's flawed operations and that it was now time to withdraw given the current climate of mistrust and misuse. ECAS was founded in 1981 to promote economic integration and cooperation among Central African countries. With Rwanda's departure, the organization is now left with 10 member states. Analysts note that Rwanda is likely to concentrate more on effective regional blocs like the East African Community and the African Continental Free Trade Area platforms that better align with the country's economic ambitions. In line with Rwanda's strategic development vision, many believe that the deepening ties within functional and rules-based organizations offers more reliable pathways to prosperity than remaining in institutions marred by political infighting and inefficiency. Now, the Ministry of Health has launched a campaign to combat the use and trafficking of illegal drugs. The ministry has urged the public to avoid using such drugs and refrain from stigmatizing those who have returned from rehabilitation centers or have been treated for mental health conditions. While launching the 10-day campaign, the Director General of the National Rehabilitation Service, Fred Mfuruche, stated that drug addiction continues to rise and called on parents and families in general to help those who return from rehabilitation to rebuild their lives. Now, moving on, health authorities here in Rwanda say that the construction and renovation of healthcare infrastructure, including hospitals, health centers and health posts, has increased the number of citizens with access to medical services. An example of that would be in Kigali sector, that's in Nyarugenge district, where local residents used to travel long distances to reach the Mwendo Health Center. Back in 2017, Karama Health Post was built in the sector to resolve that issue. The facilities manager says that for the residents of the sector, this has been a great opportunity as the health post was later upgraded due to the range of services it has to offer. The same happened in Gasyata sector, that's in Gasabo district, where a health center was constructed in 2018. Patients at the center and at the Karama Health Post in Kigali sector have been expressing their appreciation for the health infrastructure brought closer to them. Now, the National Agricultural Export Development Board, NAYEB, has inaugurated a new building equipped with various laboratories that will help ensure the quality of agricultural exports. This development is expected to reduce the number of products being returned from international markets due to failure to meet quality standards. The facility houses testing laboratories for a range of food products, including tea, coffee, vegetables, fruits, and more. The European ambassador to Rwanda has expressed appreciation for the partnership between Rwanda and the EU and said they are pleased with this latest achievement.
The presence of all the EU ambassadors shows that this is the Team Europe effort, a Team Europe initiative as part of our agriculture flagships and our support to the transformation agenda on the agriculture sector. The agriculture sector that employs the biggest numbers of Rwanda, and that also is a key drive in the exports of the country and is decisive in the national strategy of transformation. And we're working together as Team Europe in the whole ecosystem. We're working on climate-smart agriculture, so adapting the agriculture sector into the new climate change venue. But we've also been working very closely on the development and reinforcement of the competitiveness of the smaller producers in the country. We're working on the food safety, and now we're working on developing the Kigali wholesale market, which will provide the services to the smaller producers and will enable them to export to the country. But nothing of that will be possible without the lab that we are inaugurating today, where you're going to be accredited, test the qualities, but also most important, being given the feedback on what needs to be done to improve the production and to make it ready for exports to also the European markets, which we will be very pleased. So we are very well equipped and honored to do this today. And before I close, I wanted to have a particular word to my colleagues, to Amparo, to Antonio, to Michela, to Iago, who've been working endless on this. It's very special that we inaugurate this today because this is Amparo's last day in Rwanda and working in the EU delegation. She will be leaving tomorrow, and she has invested endless hours together with Antonio, Michela, Iago, working on this file. So this is also very special for the EU team who has invested in this. And with this, thank you very much. Congratulations, and I can't wait to come back and test the coffees and the teas that you will be exporting.
The President of the European Council has noted that this is a significant step forward for Rwanda and will enhance the marketability of its exports.
This is really a very important infrastructure that will serve Rwanda well to really ensure a quality system that is competitive and compliant with international food safety and market standards. So congratulations for achieving this. The building and equipment here, what we are seeing is of course the visible part. but as always, the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. It's a journey that started in 2018, but also behind that visible part, there is an enormous amount of work that I'm sure has gone into wide-ranging gap assessments of the infrastructure to see what was needed and what was required. Also, I would pay tribute to the staff here, because in a facility like this, I know all too well that it is not the equipment that delivers, it is the staff. And their training, their dedication, their professionalism. So, congratulations to you, this is your achievement.
Pardon me. On his part, Rwanda's Minister of Agriculture and Animal Resources, Dr. Mark Chubahiro Bagabe, also observed that the laboratory will improve the quality of exports and contribute to a positive international image for Rwanda.
This quality infrastructure is in line with Rwanda's enhancing competitiveness of agricultural products on international market. It is expected to play a key role in assuring compliance with market-driven standards, statutory and regulatory requirements, particularly of the EU member states who have provided the support that we are seeing today. So investing in quality infrastructure promotes sustainable development by assuring safe food, protecting the environment, and supporting long-term economic growth for our country.
As noted by the President, that is, of the European Council, construction of the facility began back in 2018, and it cost 3.4 million euros to complete. In the past 6 years, Rwanda has earned more than $4 billion from agriculture and livestock product exports.
Moments. Laying hooks. Getting away. Making moves. Breakfast with family. Inyanje is always there. Whatever the occasion, whatever the moment, always ask for Inyanje.
Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo agira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njye muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byarangiye nanditse amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye ziba impamo. Bigereho.
Welcome back. Now a look at news from further afield. At the start of the month, the Baku Energy Week showcased Azerbaijan's energy diplomacy, renewables and regional influence, marking its 30th year. It gathered global energy leaders to discuss the country's ambitious renewable targets, strategic pipelines and its growing role in regional and global energy security. Euronews with more.
With 240 companies at the exhibition and 2,000 visitors and delegates to the conference starting yesterday ending tomorrow. This event, the Baku Energy Week, has become the must-attend event in the whole region.
Baku Energy Week has become a pivotal fixture in the global energy calendar. Now in its 30th year, it marks a defining moment for energy diplomacy, innovation and leadership.
By 2030, we again, based on already signed contracts and investment commitments, are planning to have 6.5 gigawatt of renewable energy installed capacity, and that will be more than 35% of our total energy grid. So the green agenda of Azerbaijan is very ambitious.
With over 40 countries represented, Azerbaijan is using this platform to show its energy ambitions extend beyond export to transition, resilience and global relevance.
We built together with our partners strategic pipelines to connect Caspian Sea with Black Sea, with Mediterranean, and also, of course, the crown of our pipelines is a Southern Gas Corridor, which stretches for 3,500 kilometers from Azerbaijani offshore fields towards Italy.
The Southern Gas Corridor is now a critical route for European supply, a symbol of Azerbaijan's geopolitical influence and its long-term partnerships with Europe.
When this event started 30 years ago, the purpose was to tell the world what we have, what our mission and vision is, and how we can bring the world together, both regional and globally, to realize this potential to the benefit of Azerbaijan and the world and the region. Besides traditional energy resources, we are also telling the world what we have, what our vision is in terms of green energy and decarbonization.
This is not simply a showcase of existing capacity. Baku Energy Week is a signal of acceleration and Azerbaijan's role in building a new energy coalitions.
We will become net zero by 2050, energy company, and we also have very aggressive targets for 2030 and 35. So we will rely on three primary enablers. Number one is decarbonization of the core businesses that we are in. Number two is changing the DNA of the organization, including the culture. So we embrace the decarbonization and energy transition on basically molecular level. Number three is getting into the low carbon businesses. For example, renewable energy generation, low carbon fertilizers, and these type of products.
Energy security, technological progress, political cooperation, these aren't competing themes, they are converging, and Baku is a place where that convergence is taking shape.
Energy security is an important topic, not only the energy security, but also the green energy export. There has been a lot of emphasis on this region in terms of energy, food, and water security. And we at Masdar are playing a very crucial role.
Policy meets pragmatism here in Baku, where energy futures are being written.
We have been participating in Baku Energy Week for the past 3 years. It's an important platform that brings investors, financiers, companies from different sectors, particularly focusing in energy, to have a dialogue, to basically focus in energy security and how we can provide a sustainable and clean energy in the future. And we have, it's a great platform, and we're here today to also support the journey of Azerbaijan.
That sentiment is shared by global partners, including Germany.
Germany has a long-standing relation with Azerbaijan. 200 years ago, settlers came to Azerbaijan, and since then, the relations have been developing. Here today are more than 13 firms and enterprises who show their world-level technology. And we just signed last week a roadmap in the areas of energy, transport, middle corridor, and other areas, because, and that's why we are here. We think Azerbaijan plays an important role in the middle corridor.
From hydrogen to hydrocarbons, it's clear the energy debate is no longer about direction, but about pace, equity, and resilience.
Now, before we go, let us again take a look at the headlines. The Rwanda Defense Force Command and Staff College has hosted the graduation ceremony of its 13th cohort. Rwanda's National Agricultural Export Development Board has inaugurated a state-of-the-art facility designed to elevate the country's agri-export sector. And as we just saw, the Baku Energy Week has continued to showcase Azerbaijan's energy diplomacy, renewables, and regional influence. I thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and I hope you have a great week ahead of you. I'll be seeing you soon again. Goodbye.